Little lounger this morning. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? Nice to see everybody on this lovely, almost summer day, the first Sunday in May. That's my partner, Andres, on drums. Somewhere in here is Karen Novi, who's my other partner on vocals. And we are going to sing a spirited version of Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed. The lyrics are in your program. And if you're capable, please rise and sing along. And here we go. I'm spirit-led, spirit-fed, everywhere and always I'm spirit-led, I'm spirit-led, spirit-fed, everywhere and always I'm spirit-led, rolling like a river of peace, I am nature's wandering child, love cannot be added to me, I am made complete.
Today, opening up to really have that experience. Not just know it intellectually, but have the experience. You ready for that today? Yeah, let's do it. We want to say hello to those who are joining us online, Facebook or YouTube. Glad you're here. If you would just say hi, just pop a little hi in the chat, and so we know that you're with us, right? All right, so Unity Center of Peace. Here we are. I'm Reverend Victoria Loveland-Coen, and to my left is the wonderful Chris Eagle. Yeah. He's going to anchor us in a consciousness, a deep spiritual loving consciousness through the meditation and other things that he does, and also by lighting the divine light candle. So as he does that, let's just take a moment and be with that element of fire for a second and honor that. And I invite you to say our opening invocation with me, which is on that buff sheet that Chris is holding up. It's in the seat back in front of you. And just find that place where the opening invocation is. But more importantly, find that place in here, in your heart. And breathe for a moment into that heart space. And together, there is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life. God, the good omnipotence. You really feel your consciousness expanding to embrace that idea fully of that omnipresent, loving presence of good right here. Right in the center, right now. So it is.
Trust and I know Just feeling that peace move through us. Before we dive deeper into our consciousness, would you take that consciousness piece that roughly is called a phone and make sure it's already meditating? And if there's anything on your lap, anything that needs tending to, would you do that now so you can fully relax and be supported by whatever you're seated upon? And if it's comfortable, close your eyes or gaze softly down and just notice your breath. This wondrous affirmation of life that automatically happens thousands of times per day. Just feel how it supports you in so many ways. The biological ones, but there are also emotional ones. It provides this wondrous exchange with the rest of the world of various elements. It also pumps lymphatic as well. There are all these things that are tied intrinsically together with the breath. But the one we are focusing on today is awareness. Feel how that breath moves to the tips of your being. And what I am talking about is beyond your toes and fingertips, the top of your head. But this awareness of being present in this world, in this room, embodying consciousness. If there are any worries or thoughts that are coming up right now, realize that they are just parts of consciousness as well, and that they're taken care of. You don't have to focus on them in this moment. Right now, it is tending to your awareness. That is key. As you focus, you might find a warmth. You might feel like you are centering where your heart is, or your heart center, depending on what works best for you. You might feel a calmness or a centering. And just be aware of that essence. Feel in how you focus upon it. It grows. There might be a core to it, but it has a diffuse edge surrounding that permeates past its normal size. And what I want you to do in the silence for the next couple of minutes is watch, feel, sense how that grows beyond your body into this room and becomes part of this world. feeling this depth. If there are any people, places, situations that come up that feel separated from this essence that we are sharing together, please call their names softly aloud. By naming them, you invite them into this essence. I would like to invite Joanne Dayhill, our prayer partner for today, to come up to also include our prayer requests.
To those who have placed their faith in us, to hold their prayers, to hold that sense of need and response, that sense of request and prayer answered. Let us lift them into our hearts and into the deepest place of our knowing that all is well, that love is here to bring us back on course when we feel we have stepped away, to open our eyes and our heart once again to the reality that all is well, and we can rest in the love that is intended for us every day of our lives. So it is.
So it is. So allowing yourself to fully come back into your body, or bringing this body back into this consciousness, whichever way you want to do that. All are welcome. If you want to stretch, open your eyes, being mindful of anybody that might be nearby. And if you would connect with eyes with at least two other divine beings, which there are many in this room, and for those of you live streaming, I'm sure you can find a few. All right. Would you join me in our vision and mission, which is either on the order of service or the front of the program, or on the screen, whichever one you have available. And let's really live into these together. So let's start with our vision. We envision the divine light awakening in all. Our mission, we center in peace and love. We connect in our hearts with others. We celebrate our journey towards wholeness, and we empower others to experience their spiritual magnificence. And so it is. I hand it over to Bright Matter.
Where I am, God is. Where I stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me, as me. Where I sing, God is. Where I dance, joy lifts my feet.
love that. So good to be reminded, and in such a beautiful, powerful way. Thank you, Bright Matter. And good morning, everyone. Hey, so we've got a new month, and this month we're going to talk all about conscious evolution. Consciously evolve. We're going to consciously evolve this month. You ready? We're all going to consciously evolve. Now, when we think about evolution, we usually think about it in terms of the species, Earth species, growing into smarter, more effective versions of itself. Usually has to do with, response to the environment. Genetic mutation is a process that happens over a long period of time, right? This is usually like the basic of how we think of evolution. But conscious evolution refers to humanity. And it is really our ability to consciously participate in our own evolution. We can evolve our thinking. We can lift our consciousness consciously. We can have a clearer understanding of the world around us, of the people around us. We can have a deeper understanding of what divides us, what might cause inequities among us, what threatens our feeling and experience of oneness. This we can consciously do. And, some might call this waking up. We do that too. It's the idea of waking up. Or dare I say, woke. Which I have to say, right, that word, that beautiful idea has somehow, become this negative word in the mouths of some, on the extreme end of things. But when you think about it, what is the opposite of woke, of being awake? It's asleep, right? It's asleep. So that's our choice. We can either choose to be awake and stay awake, or we can choose to sleep, to be asleep. And the person who wrote this passage that I'm going to read about conscious evolution on the Wikipedia page was woke, I think, and said this: conscious evolution suggests that now that humanity is conscious of its history and how things evolve, evolutionary consciousness, and given the rapid pace of change in society and culture, humanity can and should choose advancement through cooperation, co-creation, and sustainable practices over self-destruction through separateness, competition, and ecological devastation. So that's what we talk about here, right? That's very much in alignment with what we're thinking about. Now, conscious evolution can also be seen through the eyes of spiral dynamics. We had Reverend Pat Venema, who came to speak to us a couple months ago about spiral dynamics. She's written a book about it, Spiral Dynamics in the Bible. And what it is a model of evolutionary development. The development of a basic worldview in a cultural context. And it's a spiral. The model is a spiral. It's spiraling ever upward. And the idea is to include and transcend the previous level. And we're going to talk more about that later on this month. But just know that it's really a helpful tool to help us see and understand other people and ourselves, minus the judgment part. It can be very helpful. Now, ultimately, conscious evolution is really about spiritual growth, growing into our full divine potential. The point is to evolve our understanding of who and what we truly are, that we are each emanations, beautiful expressions of this one divine life. So we want to deepen that understand, not just the understanding, but the experience of it, right? The experience of it. We want to embody that understanding. And that's why we come together and, through the music and the meditation and the open hearts and the discussion, all of that together helps us to embody these ideas that we talk about here. And when we do, then we begin to notice that our orientation towards life is beginning to evolve, that we're orienting ourselves. It's changing from an orientation of life is a series of problems to be solved to life is a celebration of love. A celebration of love. That's quite a different orientation. It's a different view, different paradigm. Now, of course, we know life is a mystery. This has us scratching our heads sometimes. It's like, really? What is going on? Why? And that's really because we can't see the whole picture. But if we learn to trust that the impulse of life is to grow into greater and greater expressions of itself, greater and greater good, then we can relax into that. And then we see what we once thought of as a problem, we see it as a possibility to discover. So I want you to think about a problem that you might have, a challenge that you're facing in your life. And just choose one. Focus in on one. Let me think about that. Everybody got one? If not, I can lend you one of mine. Okay. Now, take that and just put it on the shelf just a little bit. Just right out of reach for just a moment. And see if you can reorient your understanding that impulse of life within you is one of growing into greater and greater experiences of good. That's the impulse of life within you, within all of us, within all of nature, within all of life. Now, take that problem, challenge, and see if you can view it differently. Breathe into that. See if you can see it as a possibility of tremendous good that can be revealed in the situation. And you may want to prompt it with some questions. Questions you can ask like, I wonder what blessing is right now revealing itself in this experience? Or what possibility can be realized here? Or you may want to ask, how can I be a blessing to others in this situation? So let's affirm these ideas together, just so we get it really in our consciousness, we begin to embody it. So repeat after me. What blessings are being realized here? What blessings are being realized here? What possibility can emerge in this situation? What possibility can emerge in this situation? And finally, how can I be a blessing to others in this situation? How can I be a blessing to others in this situation? Take a deep breath together. Feel that sinking in, embodying, and feel it having an influence over those things that, we just think are problems, challenges, that's getting me stuck. Opening up with some questions that might help us just reorient ourselves. That's what we want to do. Okay. So this process of conscious evolution can also be seen as an uncovering or a revealing of the truth that has always been here. The truth that we are divinely human beings, beautiful emanations of this one divine light, right? In process of remembering that. And the thing is that mankind has been asleep to this truth. Yeah, right? From the beginning of time, right? With the exceptions of, some wonderful mystics and spiritual masters throughout history, but still, most of mankind, we're asleep, right? To the truth of who we truly are. And because of that, we have developed mechanisms that we think can get us through life, that we think will keep us safe. These mechanisms, right? But if we're ignorant to the truth, to our true source, to the truth of who we are, and we think of ourselves as separate from source, separate from others, separate from our good, or we think of ourselves as a mess to be fixed, or, somehow lacking, or maybe a miserable sinner, which unfortunately a lot of people have, grown up, believing that, then those mechanisms are just going to keep us stuck. They're going to hold us back from the experience of true freedom and cause a lot of problems. It can cause a lot of problems. And so what we're really talking about here is a paradigm shift, right? Conscious evolution is really about letting go of the old paradigm. Letting go of the old paradigm, the belief in separation, and evolving our understanding of who we truly are. The true source, which reveals the original self with a capital S, and reveals the innate wholeness. That innate pattern of wholeness within us is revealed. But here's the thing. It's sometimes difficult to let go of the old paradigm, right? It's hard because it's human nature. We want to hold on to the old, right? We're familiar with this. We're comfortable with this over here. Don't want to let go of that. It's sometimes difficult to let go of the known for the unknown. But if we cling to that old paradigm, again, it's just going to cause some problem. It can hurt us, and it can hurt others. So recently, I was remembering this movie, Contact. Do you remember with Jodie Foster, the movie Contact? So 1997. This movie came out. Jodie Foster is a scientist and astronomer. Matthew McConaughey is the boyfriend, right? They're both young and gorgeous in this movie. And so she is part of the SETI program, which is the SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, which I actually was, right? It was part, but then they lost the government funding, and that's sort of reflected in this movie. It's a fringe thing, you're not getting any funding. It's actually still exists as a nonprofit. So anyway, they're all listening for years and years. They got these array of telescopes that are listening to all the sounds from the universe. And nothing's coming through, nothing's coming. It's a lot of patience, take a lot of patience for astronomers to find things. And then suddenly there's a signal, and it's really strong, and it's really definite, and they have a location for it. Well, then, all this drama ensues, and everybody wants a piece of it, right? The government, the military, religious fanatics, are protesting, and, it's all this chaos that ensues. Everybody wants a piece of it or is protesting it. And so they finally discovered that the signal is really a blueprint. It's a blueprint for a spaceship, a vessel that is going to carry one passenger to the planet where the signal is coming from, for whatever, to meet the aliens. We don't know, right? And so Jodie Foster volunteers. She actually gets it the second time around. There's somebody else that kind of beats her to it unethically, but he's blown up. So I don't want to reveal too much of the movie. So anyway, they build a second one, and you're like, okay, goodbye. So there's a second vessel, and so they okay her to go. Now, the scientists, the engineers who are building this, they're following the blueprint that's come from the aliens, from this advanced technology, but they just think they need to add something else. They gotta put a seat in there and, bolt it down in order to keep her safe, right? And strap her in with, safety belt. Now, this is not part of the original design. So it's the old paradigm, right? It's they can't let go of the old paradigm of how else are we going to keep her safe? What's going to keep her safe if she's not bolted in and strapped in? Got to have that, right? They can't trust. They can't trust the new paradigm that's from the advanced technology. Well, Jodie Foster does, and she learns to trust it. Okay, so she's in there, she's strapped in, all systems are go, and this thing is beautiful. It's got all these rings, and it turns and turns and turns, and it doesn't really go anywhere. It goes into a different dimension, is what it is. And so she's in this seat, and it's shaking and shaking and shaking, even was shaking so violently that you think she's not going to survive this. And it shakes so much that it shakes a locket that's around her neck off. And this is a very meaningful locket to her. Her boyfriend gave it to her. It's like a good luck thing. And so she notices that it's floating nicely. It's not shaking. It's just floating out here. And so she's like, wow. And she pulls off, she pulls off the straps, gets out of the chair to grab the locket. And in that moment, the chair it pulls off of its mooring and it slams against the wall, breaking into a million pieces. Had she stayed there a second longer, that would have happened to her. But she trusted, and she got this locket. And she survives, and she goes on this amazing adventure, which I won't tell you. You have to watch the movie to see what transpires after that. You can find it. It's like, on any streaming service, you can find it. It's great. So the idea, again, is that the human builders could not trust. They couldn't let go of the old paradigm. They just couldn't trust that there was, and they couldn't see it. So the question we want to ask ourselves is, what old paradigm? What is holding us back? What part of that old paradigm is holding us back? What part of that old thinking, what is holding us back from trusting a new paradigm, from moving forward and expressing more of our full potential? What fear is stopping us? And where do we want things to be the way that they've always been? You know, some areas in our life, we just want things to be the way they've always been. Right? But we know that they change. We know that for sure. That's the certain thing, right? That's the thing that doesn't change, is that everything changes. Everything changes. So we want to adapt to those changes from the most evolved place possible so that we can respond with wisdom and love. And so the next question is, what is calling you to evolve? What is calling you to consciously evolve into? What new paradigm is calling you? What new paradigm is calling us? How about love? Loving each other, loving our planet, recognizing that infinite love exists within us, has always been within us and within everyone. Recognizing that there's a higher possibility of living a more abundant, joyous life, and to follow our inner guidance to create ways to create that life that we see, that higher possibility. How about the idea that we are here to serve an emerging paradigm? This emerging possibility. There is a new paradigm that is emerging here, right? This is our evolution. This is what we're evolving into. A new paradigm of interconnectedness, of loving community, of honoring our differences, of honoring our oneness, of respect and love for our planet. So we can either choose to be in alignment with that, to be of service to that emerging paradigm, or we can choose to ignore it, or get in the way of it, or thwart it somehow, all to our peril. But that's our choice, right? It's our choice. We can either choose to be of service to this new emerging consciousness, this new emerging paradigm, because that's what we're moving into. That's our evolution, right? Or we don't, and we destroy ourselves. We shrink back into that old paradigm, and we destroy ourselves. I mean, think of, animals, species that have for some reason not been able to adapt, to evolve to a new environment, to a new paradigm. What happens? They die out. They go extinct. So our call is to move into, open up to, recognize, become conscious, consciously evolve, and be of service to this new emerging paradigm. Kind of an important choice. And time is of the essence. Time is of the essence. So it makes sense to maybe think about, rearranging priorities in our lives and creating ways that we can be of service to this emerging paradigm. This new experience of an evolved consciousness, of interconnection, of loving community, of generosity of spirit, of accepting differences, of listening to each other, of being of service to this idea of a greater experience of life. Yes? All right. So we're going to talk more about this throughout the month and ways that we can begin to do this, you know? I think that's enough to chew on for the first Sunday this month. All right, namaste.
I'm going to stand up for a minute just to tell you that this is a song I've played before that I've written called Goodness and Light. And there's a section called the bridge, you know, the third section of the song where you all have historically sung with me. So I'm going to invite you to do that again. The words are simply guide us into the light, which I think is super relevant to what Reverend Victoria was just saying. Right? Guide us into the light. We're not talking about go into the light, you know. We're talking about aligning with our own light and the oneness. So guide us into the light, guide us into the light, and it simply sounds like this. We're going to rehearse it once real quick before we jump into the song. Okay. Simply, guide us into the light, guide us into the light. Everybody join us now, yeah. Guide us into the light, guide us into the light. That was amazing. That's going to happen 4 or maybe 6 times, depending how good it feels. Okay, so, all right, here we go. Goodness and light. 2, 3. Sharing the light, leading the way, helps us find the goodness and grace, guiding us back, imparting the truth, helping us see how good it can be. Oh, 'cause there's so much goodness to feel, there's so much love, the golden light is real. You're always enough, fall into love's embrace. 'Cause it's good to feel good, and it's good to feel whole. And we trust in the universe, yeah, we trust in the goodness and light. Feeling the joy, letting it flow, angels guide, and we're not alone. Source of it all wants us to be working with love and living with ease. 'Cause there's so much goodness to feel, there's so much love, the golden light is real. The light, the love, the feeling of grace, you're always enough, fall into love's embrace. 'Cause it's good to feel good, and it's good to feel whole. And we trust in the universe, yeah, we trust in the goodness and light. Here we come, here comes your part, here we go. Guide us into the light, guide us into the light. Sound good. Guide us into the light, 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 guide us into the light. Beautiful. Guide us into the light. Open, allow, believe. Let go, surrender, receive. All the light, the love, the feeling of grace. You're always enough, fall into love's embrace. 'Cause it's good to feel good, and it's good to feel whole. And we trust in the universe, in the light, There's goodness in light, goodness in light, goodness in light. Well done, thank you.
Thank you, Bright Matter. So yes, we don't have to go anywhere. The light's already in. We don't even have to turn it on, which is really handy. I have to admit, there was something that Reverend Victoria said early on when she was talking about throughout history that mankind has been asleep. The thought that came to mind is that's because they weren't listening to the women. Mea culpa. So, sorry, that just had to come out. Anyways, it's the part of fun of being in community, is that we get to experience these different perspectives. Reverend Victoria talking about what do we need to let go of? What do we want to dive into, which I'm guessing is the next couple of weeks that we'll find out what that is in detail. But also, what is the yes today? What is the yes today for continuing this community to impacting our own lives, what it has given to us already, and what it can continue to give? So whatever your gift is that you are giving back in this sacred exchange, I would love you to invoke that, enliven that, in that. And we have many ways of giving, which are on the program, on the screen. Would you grab whatever representation you need for that? And join me in the blessing, which is on that order of service. If you don't yet know it, or on the screen. Let's really feel that together, realizing that this gift not only gives for this community, but gives out to the world. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am.
So blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed.
This is just the beginning of the journey of the love that you have all shared in these bowls and with this community. So would you raise your own hands, aiming at these bowls? Let us together bless the journey of this love, not only through this community, but through all of humanity, in every last stop that this energy makes. And realize that its path is through everything to come back transformed to the giver in what they need and want. And so it is. So it is. And I am handing Mary the prayer request box, which will be out in the foyer. So if you have any concerns that you would like to put on there, any challenges or consciousness-changing things, you can put it on there, and it will be prayed over with our trained prayer team. So thank you. Any of you who are new, those online, if you would let us know. And if you haven't received a packet already, which has a sheet on both sides, if you would just raise your hand in case our greeters didn't get it to you. It looks like we did a wonderful job. So thank you all. I'm going to hand it back over to Bright Matter.
So I used to be crazy, but I'm not crazy anymore. And fear used to be my paradigm, and I'm trying to get over that. And what you might not know is that right now I'm very scared. I'm scared every time I get up on stage. Last night I was scared to get up on stage. I'm trying to get over that. So, it's true. Anyway.
Just ground into love, Chris.
Ground into love. So this is a very nice song. At the end of the song is I am the I am. Hit a C chord.
Oh, yeah.
I am the I am. I am the I am. I am the I am.
Yeah.
That will come at the end. I am the I am. I am the I am. I am the I.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be good. Yeah. Pulling a little switcheroo on you. Chris White.
I'm coming out of this long night's journey into space, and I'm not afraid anymore to look in the mirror, to wipe off the tears off of my face, and the sadness fades. I'm ready to be who I came here to be. I'm ready to be everything that I am, everything that I am. Too many years I've spent putting square pegs into circular holes, and I did not know myself. And why would I come here to live a life stuck in a mold and be bought and sold? I'm ready to be who I came here to be. I'm ready to be everything that I am, everything that I am. The I am, I am 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 the I am. There's no greater feeling than loving myself, body and soul, and the pain just goes away. I'm out in a new world as a creation, body and soul. to be everything that I am, everything that I am, the I am, I am 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 the I.
Thank you. That was a switch worth making. All right. Well, we've made it to another month, which means we have another round of birthdays to celebrate. So anyone here, or if you're online, raise your hand if you have a birthday in May. All right.
Does it count if you gave birth in May?
Well, it means there's somebody else that has the birthday too. Yes. Yes, it is a special month. So we'll use May birthdays as the name, and let's rock this down with a birthday song.
Sorry. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, May birthdays. Happy birthday to
you. Those of you live, we have birthday cake to celebrate that out there. So thank you. All right. Also happening today is we are having a Buddha Day in honor of Wesak, and we have our very own Mark Smith and Katja Sage that have arranged things. There's a table out there. There will be, after the service, you can create prayer flags using permanent markers, which I think is really funny because prayer flags disintegrate. But anyways, there you go. You're getting the gist of it already. But that'll all start happening at 12:30, so you can start in the Sacred Cafe, which is also outside, and mosey your way over, and then there will be some stuff that will happen at the Buddha that is on the Serenity Trail. Also coming up, because we've got our Spring is Sprung, and now because you now know that you're shifting your consciousness and evolving, you probably have stuff that you can go through your closets and get rid of. Well, we have a place to put that. We have our yard sale happening on Saturday, May 20th. So you can bring things in, make sure they're smaller things. The couch, restore, please. Not the yard sale, but the smaller things you can bring in next Sunday or during the week, Tuesday through Friday, between 12 and 4 p.m., and we'll get it out there, and it will help raise funds for Unity Center of Peace, and also get out of your hair. Also, who was here last week and saw the soundscapes or experienced the soundscapes stuff? So there's some posters in the back that have little QR codes if you want to experience that and you didn't. And UCP is doing our very own soundscape. So we're going to participate and become these recordings in this Smithsonian project. So there's more information. I believe there's also stuff in your program about this, but we're going to be recording stuff for the Buddha Day celebration as well, to be some of those sounds, as well as other things. And I think we already have one recording already of stuff. So it continues. Also, since we live in this social media age, please do the like, subscribe, hit the button, leave a review, and all the different things. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, also Google reviews, all of that good stuff. When you do that, that really does help get our word out. So if there's something, say, for example, this talk really meant something to you, if you go to YouTube or Facebook and like it, it does something. Also, after every service, if there is something that still is on the mind that will not leave you alone, or if you would like that simple shift in consciousness, we have our very own prayer team, and our trained prayer partner today is Joanne Dayhill. Thank you. And she will be available for 3-minute miracles at the end of the hall, down to the left, ministry office. And those of you online, if you send an email to prayer@unitychapelhill.org, please include your phone number, because then she can call you and be in prayer with you. So I encourage you to avail yourself of that. And because we are having the Buddha Day, the deeper dive discussion is on pause for today, and will recommence next week. And as always, there's all of this stuff and more details in your program, so take that home with you to get all those little pieces that I may or may not have spouted off. And I think we have children, but I am not seeing them. So, well, we could try that out and see what happens.
I am the radiant life of God. I am, I am, I am. I am the radiant life of God. I am, I am, I am. The health of God, the strength of God, vitality, energy, rhythm of God. I am the radiant life of God. I am, I am, I am.
Now this time, where is the radiant life of God?
There is the radiant life of God. I am, I am, I am. I am the radiant life of God. I am, I am, I am. The health of God, the strength of God, vitality, energy, rhythm of God. I am the radiant life of God. I am, I am, I am.
We had lots of fun today coloring pizzas, 12-power pizzas, and talking about what hobbies we like, and playing games, and reading books. And we just had an overall fun day. We're new today.
All right. There is vitality in Vim. I just saw it. So let's bless this child and all the children, including the ones inside ourselves. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you just the way you are. And we behold the Christ in you. Mwah. All right. Yes. Yes. Thank you. All right. All right. Would you stand if you're able and join us in our prayer protection with I am statements, which is on this sheet if you don't have it, or on the screen. And then we'll launch into the peace song. So, together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.